All right, let's take a look at some examples of direct variation. So in example one, it says y varies directly with x. If y equals -4 when x equals 2, find y when x equals -6. So as a student, when you see y varies directly with x, those are your big keywords to realize you're dealing with a situation where y equals k times x. So step one is to figure out the type of equation you're going to have, which will end up being one of three. Y equals kx, and there's two others. After that, you look for the part of the problem that gives you an x and a y that are together. So it says if y equals -4 when x equals 2, so we know -4 equals k times 2. So step one, determine what type of equation. Step two, fill in all of the equation, but one thing to solve for. Step three, solve for k. So we now know -2 is equal to k. Then use the last piece of information, which is find y when x equals -6 to solve. So we want to know when y equals -2 times -6, so y would equal -12. All right, let's look at another problem. The force F exerted by a spring is directly proportional to the distance d that is stretched. Find the constant of proportionality in the equation of variation if F equals 12 pounds when d equals 1/3 foot. So the first thing is don't get scared by the words. Constant of proportionality and the equation of variation are just all fancy ways of saying write an equation in y equals kx. Well, because it said directly proportional, we know it's y equals kx. In this case, maybe I'm doing it wrong because I shouldn't be using y and x. I should be saying F equals k times d. So then we say F equals 12 when d is 1/3. So find the constant proportionality means solve for k. So let's solve for k by multiplying both sides by 3. So we know 36 is equal to k. So we have the first part done. And then it says in the equation of variation, which is a fancy way of saying just write it as y equals 36x.